Acharja, members of the National Party. One of the most pressing issues in Irish politics today is the question of housing. Successive governments have utterly failed to grapple with the issue. The totally inadequate government policies have prompted the proliferation of a range of fly-by-night populists and people with unrealistic suggestions. Some of the leading housing activists, repeatedly given the media spotlight, have truly little interest in equitably solving the housing crisis. They are in fact more interested in advancing a sectional and anti-national set of policies. It's important to point out that the existential problem of housing and the housing crisis is not simply reducible to homelessness. Homelessness is simply the tip of the iceberg. Below the surface, there is a great army of working people who are being locked out of the housing market. People are living with their parents into their 30s. People are paying exorbitant rents for subpar living arrangements. The situation is totally unsustainable. We need a radical solution. Every single player within the agreed political consensus have agreed that the best course of action in the midst of this boiling volcano is to oversee a totally ludicrous policy of welcoming thousands upon thousands of Ukrainians and those who claim to be Ukrainian. In every town, village and city across this island, there's countless places that either have, for a brief period, or are being repurposed for the explicit accommodation of refugees, most of whom will be found to be fraudulent if the appropriate ministerial departments bother to look. Just how ludicrous this situation is speaks for itself, and there's no need for me to continue to belabor the point. It must immediately end. The first Fianna Fáil government of the 1930s has often received plaudits in the media and academia for overseeing a project of the mass construction of social houses. There needs to be a renewed and vigorous state-led policy to construct thousands of affordable and durable homes in the interest of the Irish people. The state must take the lead here. Built on a nationalist foundation, it can succeed. Fulfilling the natural desire of our people to own their own home must become a priority. The situation where entire housing estates are bought up in one fell swoop by conglomerates and international agencies must end. A limit must be placed on the number of houses that any one individual or corporation can purchase in any given estate or geographic area to offset the mass accumulation of private housing by rentier capitalism. Private ownership of property should be spread as far across the population as possible, allowing the greatest number of our people to have a greater stake and investment in the private lands of the country. The state must take a leading role in providing families with the necessary support, loans and grants for constructing and purchasing new homes. The state must present workable alternatives to private banking, loans and mortgages, which are inherently predatory and usurious. Only once the Irish state is built on a nationalist foundation can genuine and wide-ranging solutions to the housing crisis be pursued. The National Party is the only political organisation on this island interested in real politics and radical solutions. We do not deal in half measures. I urge you to support their housing campaign and get behind the National Party now and in the future. Ayesha Rai.